I'm Dr. Greg Pope. I'm a professor in the Department of Earth and Environmental Studies. New Jersey, many places are going to experience effects of climate change. We in New Jersey have to realize we're a pretty urban area. Now we have plenty of kind of like open wildernessy kind of areas too, but every county in New Jersey is considered urban, and we have some of the most densely populated urban areas in the whole nation. So this enhances the risk. So flooding means nothing to out in the middle of nowhere wilderness in Wyoming, but same kind of flooding in Ramapo or Morristown or something like that. That's going to be an impact. It's just more people here will be affected, and that may mean more resources needed to accommodate that, but people are still moving here. It's a growing population. We're not losing population. It's a desirable place to live, believe it or not. And so more attention to accommodating, adjusting to the inevitability of these climate weather changes, that's got to be considered.
I'm Maria Lopez Nunez, and I'm the Deputy Director at the Ironbound Community Corporation. We do organizing and advocacy, so in a community like ours, the Ironbound, right, which is really surrounded by a lot of industrial waste and industrial siting facilities, and we are also right next to the river, which is the longest Superfund site in the country, the Passaic River. It's where dioxin was dumped during the Vietnam War, a byproduct of creating Agent Orange. And so, we have a interesting toxic mix of people and industry.
My name is Annette. I can't walk. I use my wheelchair when I'm in the house, and I use this buggy when I'm outside. It gets flooded, certain areas in the Ironbound section, and they know about it. The councilmen, they know about it. I have to kind of like think up in my head, should I go this way or should I go that way? Should I go over there? No, because that might have all that over there. I pretty much know what areas I should not go because of that. Not only just because of the floods, but because also too the street.
Even when there isn't flooding, because our sidewalks really broken, you often see people with wheelchairs have to share the road with cars. And because we're next to the port, we're not just sharing the road with cars, they're sharing the roads with trucks, heavy duty diesel trucks that are zooming right by them. Because in our neighborhood, we have thousands of trucks that come through the neighborhood, and people with wheelchairs are sharing that. And when it's flooded, there's just no way out, So like during Sandy, we had trouble accessing emergency services for people with disabilities. That becomes even higher. And of course, the loss of electrical power. During Sandy, there was some of our complexes that didn't have power for up to a month. So if you're on any type of medically necessary devices, that became very difficult.
My name is Jack Chen. I'm a professor. We keep on hearing of once in 100-year storms that are now happening on a regular basis. And then how we adapt and how we take them seriously, and how people get flooded in their basements and die in their basements, or get flooded in their cars to and from work or shopping. These are things that we haven't been really adapting for, adjusting to. It's a mindset, but it's also basically the lack of design and the lack of really figuring out ways, well, first of all, taking global warming seriously. That, to have done that would have helped. And we've known that this has been coming for quite a while. But then to not design accordingly and not to have enough public awareness to support policy changes that can really mitigate the impacts. And of course, this has a greater impact on those communities that have the least resources and are oftentimes living in the places that are most vulnerable to the bad weather.